Hey, listeners, my name is Elisha, the founder of the Witnesses podcast. It's so beautiful to have you listening to our podcast, and I want you to know something that means a whole lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. And one thing I love to tell all of our listeners is it's not just about you listening, but listening to understand. Understanding is the most important thing, so important. So, you have to listen, learn, and practice. Thank you so very much and happy listening.
Hi,
Okay.
Patrick. It's nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
Doing fine as well. Okay, oftentimes I love to talk about the essence of this show, which is to invite amazing guests like Patrick, to come talk to us about their triumphant stories, because we believe that in our audience, there might be someone who is stuck up in a situation that Patrick came out of triumphantly.
Damn, what the fuck just happened, dude?
Sorry about
Oh,
that.
oh,
So,
what's going on? Can you
yeah,
still hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. So,
Uh,
let's within the next few minutes, Patrick, let us get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame it. Then afterwards, I've got some questions for you. All right, let's get started,
okay.
Patrick. Over to you.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, yeah, go on, please. Just continue. I don't know, I'm having issue with the Riverside stuff. Just go on. Let's get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, my story runs pretty deep. I had a traumatic childhood. I was born to a young mother, and my dad left when I was 9 months old. Through domestic violence, he went to jail. Um, I didn't see my dad again until I was like 4 years old. My house with my mom, her being young, it was a party house. So my uncle lived there, and my mom worked a lot, and I found myself getting intoxicated at a young age. I was probably like 3 or 4 years old. Of course, I didn't drink every day after that, but I had got drunk for the first time when I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I had that thing, I guess, lingering in the back of my mind. So by the age of 12, I was pretty much using every day until I was about 34. So I had my stints of like rehab. I went to rehab at 15, Alcoholics Anonymous at 18. I went back to rehab at 26, multiple detoxes, just in and out, man, and just trying to, just find my way, you know. But basically, just through all that, I had developed this mindset of basically, resiliency. That's what I came to find out now about my story is just the resiliency in it, and just never giving up. And, you know, most people in my situation, they would have gave up. Most people end up on the streets, homeless, forever to the streets, man. And a lot of people they don't make it out, man. And just the way I use drugs and alcohol was it was a I was a serious case. And yeah, but through all that I've learned a lot, and coming out the other side has definitely gave me some insight on how to, you know, deal with life. Because, a lot of people, regular people, I like to call them, they think they have problems, but they really don't have problems. They're just not getting their way, And, I had some serious problems going on. And, I figured out that through fitness, nutrition, and developing a mindset and a routine, you can basically reverse all those bad habits that you developed over that amount of time, right? And because you got to think 12 to 34, that's 22 years of developing just terrible habits, right? So to reverse that is going to take time, first of all, and you have to get started. So, I'm not out of the woods by any means, but, I've put a good 5+ years into developing this mindset. And, like I said, through fitness, I've changed my addiction from drugs and alcohol to fitness and, eating the right foods and, you know, um, aspire to conquer goals. I'm really goal oriented and I live like a really regimented schedule. Like I'm still a human being, don't get me wrong. I still watch football from time to time, college basketball, you know, but I live my life in segments. Like I get up early, I eat the right food, I get to the gym, and then, that basically sets my day up to win. And and that's the key thing, man. You gotta get up. You gotta want to live life. If you're doing drugs and drinking all the time, you don't want to live life all that much. Like you're just coping with a substance to get you through life, right? So you have to find something outside of drugs and alcohol and other vices that'll help you get through life. And that's the biggest thing that I've found through my story, that there are other options. And at a time in my life, I didn't think there was other options. I thought that, I was doomed. Like there was no hope, man. And you know, I was getting suicidal towards the end because I had went in and out of recovery for so long, and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get sober, right? And it starts to be really you get really discouraged as far as what you're trying to do. And if there's any hope in my story, is that you just never give up. You know, you're never is a long time from now. You just never know what can happen between now and never. So you gotta just stay in the game. You gotta stay strong and just keep going.
Amazing. Okay. I have this question. Would you like to talk to us about your step brother? You got that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my stepbrother is Kevin Federline, right? So when I was 19, he married Britney Spears and had a couple kids with her, got married, all that good stuff. And, that happened to me like really young. I was only like 19. So you think at 19, you know, your brother marries Britney Spears. I just want to be clear, it's my stepbrother. His mom's still married to my dad. We're family. But, you know, that was an incredible moment in my life now that I look back on it, because what I noticed about that now, I didn't notice it at the time, but now I noticed that anything is possible with confidence, because that's what my brother always had, was like the utmost confidence in himself, right? So now I know that confidence is key to doing anything. So that's where fitness comes in,
Okay.
and eating the right things and getting up time, because you start to build this confidence in yourself, right? That's all you're trying to do. Trying to build up confidence in yourself so you can tackle your goals, no matter how small, how big they are. Maybe your goal is just to show up to work on time. I don't know. My goals are massive. So me, I have to, you know, live a massive regimented life, which is full of sacrifice and discipline, which doing that creates confidence. So realistically, that's all you're really after. But my brother showed me, now that I look back on it, that anything is possible with confidence. And that's all it was. My mom. Yeah. My mom, my mom, she gave me a great story, man. Tell you the truth. Like, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't really have the story that I've had. So, basically, my mom was, she was broke, for a lack of a better word. She just never really had money, but she introduced me to this other side of life that gave me this story. She always worked in casinos or bars or dealt cards, and when I was able to see her, I was heavily involved in that. Like, when I was young, I would hang out at the casino, and I'd be able to run around the casino, and I'd be talking to all these older people, just hanging out with adults, man. And I'd be when she worked at the bar, I'd be playing pool or playing cards with the older guys, or like, gambling on, what people gamble on, like adults, like cards and pool and darts and stuff. And I don't know, she just gave me this amazing story. If it wasn't for her, because if my mom had money, I wouldn't necessarily have the same story. So I got to give a lot of credit to my mom, as far as, um, showing me that side of life and giving me more of a story, over time.
Amazing. Okay, so let's say someone asks you, what is your motivation? What would your response be?
My motivation,
Yeah,
man, my motivation, I mean, it's several different things, but I mean, all you're trying to do every day for me is just keep your word to yourself. Like, if you're going to get out of bed at a certain time, just get up and do it. If you're going to eat a certain way, just do it. If you're going to work out a certain amount of times a week, just do it. And then, by keeping your word to yourself, you're able to keep your word to everybody else. That's your family, that's your friends, that's your boss, that's everybody in your life, right? So I think, the most important thing, and like, I'm not perfect at it, but it's something that always motivates me, is like, I want to keep my word to myself. I want, I got to get better, I got to get better, I got to get better, always trying to get better. So what, like, that's what motivates me, is to always stay on top of keeping my word to myself. And it's not, it's simple, but it's not easy, you know? It's definitely simple, but it's not easy, right? So the getting out of bed, I mean, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Eating the right food, not a problem. It's just that it's simple, but it's not easy. So you just want to, that's what really motivates me, is just keep my word to myself, man, so I can, keep my word to everybody else.
I love that. Amazing. Okay, so in conclusion, what would you like to say to the audience, like a piece of advice?
Oh yeah, man. If they want to reach out to me, I mean, I'm a life coach. You know, basically, I've been through what you might be going through. I've been strung out on drugs. I've had a gambling addiction, relationship issues, marital issues, issues with my friends. Um, I've suffered from depression, anxiety. I've had suicidal thoughts. I've been to therapy, I've been to rehabs, and I've been to detoxes, I've been homeless, I've lived in my car. There's a number of things that I've been through. So it's like, for me, I can relate. So that's what you want to do, is be able to relate to the person that's going through whatever they're going through. Is like, if, so it's like, you can go pay a therapist, but they went to school, they got a degree, they don't know what it's like to be strung out on drugs, they don't know a number of things, so they can't really relate to you. They're just gonna tell you the best way. Not to say there's anything wrong with therapy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it definitely helps if the person can actually relate and put themselves been in your shoes. Like I've been there. Like I know how to get through that. Let's do this.
You're right. You're so correct. You're so correct. Thank you so very
Thank
much
you,
for your
man.
time, Patrick. Thank you so very much. You've blessed
I
us with
appreciate it, man.
amazing insight. Your story is such an inspiring one, I tell you. Thank you so very much, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to this incredible episode. Your support means the world to us, and we truly value you. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.